Welcome to our channel, where we update the latest and most shocking developments of the dramatic TV series Beyond the Gates. In the episode aired on Thursday, July 17th, all the boundaries of lies and secrets were officially crossed. A series of events occurred that not only forced each character to face the cruel truth, but also pushed the Dupree family to the brink of collapse. And it all started with a haunting confession from Jacob, the man who seemed to have buried his dark past forever but ended up being the one who dragged the whole town into an irreversible storm. Jacob did not come to explain or ask for forgiveness. He came to break. With a cold face and a piercing gaze, he pulled Smitty into a private corner of the old church, which was once a symbol of salvation but has now become a graveyard of trust. Without further ado, Jacob drops a shocking truth, a string of hidden sins from the past, related to the death of a loved one, disguised as an accident. But it wasn't an accident. It was murder. And the person directly involved was someone Smitty had never suspected. His face paled, his eyes empty as Jacob's words cut like cold knives into his memories. Everything he had ever believed in was now ash. He no longer knew what was real and what was fake. And what was worse, if the truth were exposed, not only he, but his entire family. His entire community would be drawn into a spiral with no way out. While Smitty was pushed to the bottom of the abyss of mental paralysis, another aftershock was brewing elsewhere. Vanessa, the woman who seemed to be just a quiet shadow on the sidelines of the story, suddenly became the punchline. In a daring move, she found in an old archive a faded piece of paper stained by time but containing terrible power, a confession that had never been made public. It was not simply a document, but evidence of a conspiracy that had lasted for decades, a trail of crimes covered up by blood and power. Vanessa knew that she was holding something that many would kill to hide. And she did not choose to remain silent. Instead of hiding it like so many before her, Vanessa gave the document to Nicole, a woman who would not be easily subdued. Nicole looked at it once. Just once, and the look in her eyes changed. From confusion to anger, then to cold determination. With this evidence, she knew she could turn everything upside down. And she began. Without warning. Without seeking allies. She took on the system alone. Nicole broke into the old mayor's office, dug up the seemingly forgotten files, sought out the witnesses who had been silenced. Dug through the dusty layers of the past to trace what had been deliberately erased. Every step she took was like digging a secret grave. And every name she found was a new fire kindled in the dry forest. Little did Nicole know that the closer she got to the center of the storm, the more eyes in the dark began to watch her. Following her every step, ready to stop her at all costs if she touched the last taboo. But all efforts at concealment were meaningless before the most shocking event, an event that paralyzed the entire Dupree mansion and sent all the characters involved into a state of panic. That was that night, a seemingly peaceful evening. The Dupree family was gathered in the living room, the warm yellow light shining on the glasses of wine, before smiles. The polite conversations covering up the stuffiness spreading from deep within the walls. At that moment, the doorbell rang. None of them had invited guests. None of them were expecting anyone. When the door opened, what appeared was not a person, but a nightmare come to life. That man stood there, without introduction, without speaking. His eyes seemed to penetrate every person. Every secret in that mansion. Every face in the room changed color immediately. They recognized him. No one dared to say his name. No one thought they would have to face him. Because if he returned, it would mean that everything they had hidden would be paid for. His appearance was a declaration, every truth would be brought to light, even the most disgusting truth. From the moment he stepped through the door, the atmosphere in the mansion was suffocating. Every member of the Dupree family felt as if they had been stripped bare. The whispers from the past came alive, the wrong decisions, the staged deaths, the forbidden relationships, all became blades turning toward them. No one could run. No one could hide. And the worst was yet to come. The mysterious man did not appear randomly. He had a goal. He had a plan. And he knew exactly the weaknesses of each person in that house. In the following days, his presence was like a ghost that covered every corner of the mansion. Anonymous phone calls began to appear. Images from the past that were thought to have been erased were suddenly sent to each person. An old diary was discovered in a locked room, containing a confession that not only exposed a murder, but also revealed a dark alliance between the closest people. Unsent letters, edited audio tapes, relics that were thought to be lost all began to flood back like a tidal wave, forcing each person into a dead corner. Jacob did not disappear after his confession. Nor did he ask for forgiveness. He became the guide to the nightmare he had created. Smitty, paralyzed, begins to fall into a state of disorientation, unable to distinguish between what is real and what is not. Vanessa, after handing over the evidence to Nicole, suddenly disappears. Nicole, the only one left standing, is on the verge of a discovery that could bring the entire town down. But will she be able to bring everything to light before the forces in the dark act to extinguish it all? The storm has only just begun. And when it passes, nothing will remain intact. Fairmont Crest will no longer be a place of peaceful lies. It will be a place where every secret is exposed under the light. And every character, strong or weak, will face punishment for their own mistakes. Stay tuned for the unexpected and dramatic developments of Beyond the Gates in the next episodes. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any truths waiting to be revealed. The truth waits for no one, and the price of silence has never been cheaper.